and welcome to this edition of the Time with Hime podcast. I'm joined with our superintendent, Mr. Hime. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Everybody's excited. It's 2021. I don't know in my lifetime if there's ever been a year that we've been glad to get in our rearview mirror more than 2020. So we're excited about it being 2021. And, you know, obviously our positive hope is we get back to the norm and we start moving towards normalcy again.
Correct. So happy New Year. And we're here. It's our first week back and things are looking great. And we're ready to share some updates with our family. So let's get to it.
Well, you know, you start with coming back, you know, the struggles. You know, we were concerned about where we'd be with COVID and students being at home and traveling and family meetings. But we still, you know, our teachers and staff have still done a wonderful job. And you know, just shout out to them once again. You know, we are continuing with our face-to-face and our virtual learning and offering that flexibility in those platforms. And you know, a great appreciation to the staff because, you know, I can't say it enough. I'm not flexible. It's our teachers and staff that are being flexible. So thank you. You know, great over the break. What did we feed? 20-some thousand meals or something like that? 13,000 twice?
We had that many people come. We had 46,000 plus meals that we delivered to our families or that they came up. So it was exciting, very appreciative to all. You know, they had that system worked out wonderfully.
Shout out to our cafeteria workers. They gave up a 21st and a 28th, a couple days over their break to distribute food to people. And so we're excited about that again. It's always great when people work together because in the end, we're all in this together. So that's exciting.
Right. And we had drivers there as well that went around to all 11 sites and our, you know, officers that went and delivered meals. So we're just thankful. It was a great break. I think one that was well needed by everybody.
Yes, so. Me included. I even got an extra couple days because I got quarantined myself in the line of duty. I wanted to try to get out of it, but that's just something, you know, just because you know the people at the health department don't mean, you know, they won't let you out. They still tell you, nope, you got to quarantine. So
that's right.
I got a couple extra days and then got to spend the first week of Christmas basically quarantined, had to move my family plans back. And I know that a lot of you have been disrupted your daily schedule by quarantine and family members getting positive. So obviously I didn't go through anything that the rest of you haven't been through. But, you know, we're all in this together. And like I said, we're going to work hard to get back to normalcy as fast as possible.
And we're still going to continue with our COVID summary update. That's still on our website.
Yes. And, you know, that's the thing we continue to watch and we continue to let you see it by sight, you know, and see where we're moving there. And, you know, as numbers are coming in, we haven't got a lot of numbers in over the break. So we're just now getting it updated for the post-Christmas because obviously everybody that was quarantined or positive before we left for the break, they're out of quarantine or no longer considered positive and they're back at school. So we'll get that updated as quick as we can and keep it as accurate as we can based upon health department data. And again, that's a shout out to Lynn. She's the one basically does all that data work for us. And that gets to be kind of tedious. But again, we want to make sure we're transparent and sharing as much information and making sure you as parents and the staff knows this is information we're using, how we decide how we're going to move people around and try to keep a functional school system rolling and still offer that flexibility.
Right, and I have to give a shout out to our administrators and our nursing team because they're the ones that make sure that the data is out there accurate, and I just simply share with the community. So It is working together. Some great things that happened over the break and even into the beginning of this week is our vaccines that are going out.
Hey, you know, we can't brag enough on our health department. I mean, again, Brandy, and she's joined us on the podcast. She was going to join us right before when we were going to do the last podcast. She was going to join us, but somebody got quarantined and we couldn't have the podcast. But she has really helped a lot in there. And, you know, and I got in a discussion with her, and we had the discussion, you know, what about our severe and profound staff members? You know, they're very hands-on. They're really healthcare workers, or they're care. They're providing care on a daily basis. They're with students that are hard to wear masks. They can't hardly social distance, and the students, you know, as far as washing hands and stuff. And she agreed that those teachers of our severe and profound autistic students, that those teachers and staff members should have the opportunity to be vaccinated in the first line. And so we got to move those up. Our police officers got the opportunity as far as first responders, our nurses. So we're starting to move into Some of our teachers, and I'm not sure, we weren't the only school in the state. In some of the other schools around here jumped on with it. But again, that's a shout out to the flexibility of our health department and worked with us. And then Monday they had the big pod. They're calling them pods at the Coliseum. And, I just texted her and said, hey, do you need any help or volunteers? And she said, oh, yeah. I mean, we filled up so fast. We really never got out of our office area for people to, go down and take their day. And, people say, well, they got paid because they were supposed to be at work. Well, the work they didn't do while they were out there helping, it was for them when they got back to work. So they still had things to do. But we had people down there, but I think they ended up vaccinating 1,200, 1,500, somewhere between 12 to 1,500. Again, that's starting our over 65. And Lawton is moving really fast in it. People are coming and trying to get into Lawton from all over the state to get a vaccination because our people are doing such a great job. And again, a shout out to our volunteers for helping. Shout out to the health department. And, the ultimate goal is the more people we get vaccinated, the quicker we get back to normalcy. I've had some people that are older than me because, I'm getting to the point where I'm considered old, who can remember when they did the polio vaccine and standing in line. When we think about the measles and smallpox, and some of us have a scar on our arm where we got a vaccine, and some of us don't. And how we've eradicated diseases because everybody took a vaccine, and hopefully this is one of those vaccines, and we developed it faster. Hopefully we get it eradicated and under control where we can get back to normal life. Because as we talked, hey, we're back. We're into second semester. Now we start talking about what are we, in my job, we're planning for 21, 22. That's, wild.
It's coming. Yes. It's coming.
Well, and also, we talked about this. Our principals and our executive director of education, they're meeting this week to start talking about graduation. What's graduation going to look like, And we're going to try to do that as normal as possible. Most likely, without major changes, it'll probably be at the football field or at Cameron Stadium, just because the outdoors allows more people and more social distancing. Because the assumption right now is students won't be vaccinated for a while, just because, especially those under 18, there hasn't been a lot of testing yet. But we're very excited about moving forward in normalcy. We definitely want to try to hold a formal graduation this year. I mean, I know at my school where I came from, and I was working here, in the internship or the transition, that not having a formal graduation is really tough. I know a lot of people in this district worked hard last year to make it as formal as possible, but it still was a video, in the same way in the district I came from. So we're going to work hard to give the seniors of 21 as a formal as a graduation as we can.
So we'll have more information on that, but you're speaking of things, in the second semester. Let's talk about what we have to look forward to with pre-K signups and just the rest of, our school year.
I mean, it's enrollment time is here, and start talking about where we're going, what we're going to do, and so we're excited about that. And, one thing we've talked about is, at Lawton, we really want to serve our parents, and we want to continue the flexibility. Even as we move to normal, or being more normal, I guess, we want to be flexible. So as parents, if there's things you need or things you can meet your needs, one thing we've talked about, we're not going to be near as strict on our boundaries. Obviously, the school boundaries will be more about providing transportation than what school you go to as far as the site boundaries. So we're going to be a little bit more flexible on that. Really flexible to meet your needs as a parent. So make sure you're communicating with us there. As far as education at different levels, we're working really hard with Cameron and Career Tech to make sure, Great Plains, to make sure we're going to really try to form a really strong partnership. Our ultimate goal is a partnership with them where we start looking at this Vista Center they're coming up, where the city and Vista, they now have the mall, and all these high engineering, high tech companies are going to come to town. Well, the three of us want to work together to try to develop students and create a plan or a platform to prepare them to work for those companies. Because here's the thing. If we have all these people coming to town and we're recruiting industries for jobs and engineering jobs, and somebody told me the other day, this is going to be this many jobs that make 150,000 or this many jobs that make 100,000, why would we not try to prepare our students to take those jobs? I'm sure we'll have some people move in, and it's great to have people move in, but we want our students to have first shot. we want to get Lawton people qualified for those $200,000 a year jobs. So that's going to be our goal. And again, that partnership between, with Lawton Public Schools, Cameron University, and the Great Plains, there's very few places that have that three large entities that can team up as one and create a platform for students.
And you speak about Cameron and our partnerships. One thing that's really exciting for our families that I'm excited about is that our students have the ability to get their college degree, associates, before they even graduate, and that's free. That's something that we, the district, pay for.
Yes, and we were working really hard to expand that. It's kind of interesting. We that's one of the first things we started talking about with myself and the leadership team is how can we expand this? How can we offer more concurrent and more college opportunities or career opportunities on the other side? And you notice over the break, there was a big article on Tulsa Public Schools and Tulsa Community College, teaming up on a program where students could graduate with it. We are working on the same thing with Cameron, and I'm really excited about it because there's a really openness between myself and Dr. MacArthur and Clarence Fortney, who runs the Great Plains, the three of us, as far as this goal of becoming one unit and serving our kids the best we can and stretching, because the goal is it's all money designed for students. How do we take that money and stretch it as far as we can? So I'm excited that we're going to work together, and it's about creating opportunities for all students, not just college-bound students and even career tech, but even some students. Can we provide a career-level education when they leave high school and they're 18? They can go into the workforce and still get a quality employment where they can live at a level they would like to live.
That's right. Now, one of the things that we also are looking into is our pre-K, and I know our dates are coming out soon, so that's exciting. Enrollment is not happening just yet, but we'll have more information.
Yeah, and as that comes out, one thing I'd like to improve on that, I know as pre-K's kind of evolved over time, it was, we started it, and then it was half-time, and then it was full-time, and when they first started it, our sites were fairly full, so they used the learning tree. We're going to really work hard to make sure we have a spot for you at the building you want to go to have pre-K. I can't guarantee that because, some of our buildings are full, and they'll be full, when we get back to post-COVID. But we're going to work really hard, if we have to add a pre-K class. So if we're not going to, so you enroll where you want to go, and then, there'll be an order of enrollment. And if we need you to go to Learning Tree, and some people want to go to Learning Tree, but how that works, we'll work hard. Again, that's about our flexibility in meeting the needs of the parents. The thing about pre-K that gets tough, in fourth, third grade, we don't like for our teachers to have 25, 26 students. We'd rather keep it around 20, 22. But if they get that many because, that student lives in that area where this school's best for the parent, it's not always. But, you start putting 22, 23, 4-year-olds in a classroom, you're starting to create a negative effect, and so that's where you get a little bit tougher there on class sizes and things. But again, we're going to work hard with all of our parents and expand our pre-K at our local sites or our elementary buildings in order to meet the needs of our parents and making sure that they can take their student, because pre-K a lot of times it's not about where you live, it may be where you work, it may be where the best trip is, etc. So we'll do everything we can to work with you.
All right, what do you want to share that I haven't brought up that we can share with our families?
Athletics is going strong. I've noticed, I think our basketball teams are doing really well. I try to follow as many as I can. They are. I'm pretty sure all of them are on our Oklahoma Sports Network. I think we worked hard to make sure with this COVID area that you could watch any of the high schools play their basketball games. I think we're doing really, I see we have some strong teams in basketball. I think I saw somewhere where MacArthur boys are ranked number 1. That's awesome. I saw where Eisenhower boys beat Ardmore, who's a perennial state tournament team. So, and I know Lawton's going strong. So I think all three of our teams, boys and girls, are competitive, and that's fun to get out. And, I'm excited about the normalcy because, everybody doesn't know this about me, but I coached for years before I got into administration. And I love to go to athletic events. I basically have to take my wife with me so she can grab me and pull me down because I'm one of those that probably yells too much at the referees, and you shouldn't do that. You're supposed to be nice, but I get a little too excited at it. But I get into it, and I really enjoy that. And that's one of the things I really like about my job is I've always enjoyed that. I like to support our students and our student athletes and other events that come up, and hopefully we get back to having our music contests, our band contests, and some of those things that we weren't able to have, like marching band. I don't know that they got they didn't get that same competitive season they had. They lost a season. So hopefully as we move forward after Christmas, again, that normalcy, and I'm excited about what our winter sports are doing. They're actually getting to play, and we're working hard. Again, work hard about getting a ticket if you want to go. There's still, I don't think we're selling tickets at the gate still.
Right.
You have to have the ticket, and we're working at 25 to 30% capacity, and you have to wear a mask to go in. We're still trying to, we're doing everything we can to practice those protocols, and hopefully,
hopefully.
Yeah, the whole goal is, we look up and it's May and everybody's had a vaccine and the disease is gone, and we have a summer and we get ready for 21, 22, and it's just like 1920 was when we started. So it's a game changer, but, we're excited about it. And, for being new and getting to know people, getting to know a community, and getting to just reach out and try to learn, I just got to give a shout out to the community, the staff, and everyone, because even with COVID and the limited about, how it's limited my ability to do that, I feel like I have been supported, and I feel like people are getting on board with some of my ideas and sharing their ideas so we can work together. Because at the bottom line, this is about the students of Lawton Public Schools. It's not about Kevin Hime. It's not about what I want. It's about what's best for the students, and we all have to work hard to come up with that plan to do what's best for the students. And I'm really excited because our community is way behind that. What is that organization you're in? You're having a meeting?
Which one? Jet Task Force. Yes.
Yeah, the Jet Force. They put that together at the city, and it's got a good committee. We're going to start working on a strategic plan and some of those things because, again, we want to be the best option. It's not about competing. It's not about different schools. We want to be the choice. We want Lawton Public Schools to be the choice. So we're going to continue to offer flexibility and continue to get better every day. What is it we always say? You don't have to be bad to get
better.
Yep.
That's right.
So,
is there anything else, Mr. Hime, you want to celebrate? I want to bring up for our families that USDA, they have extended the free meal program.
So everybody still gets to eat free. Yeah, awesome.
The end of the school year.
And the virtual students can still pick up 14 meals on Monday. Is that correct?
Yes.
So
yes.
If you're virtual, get your meals on Monday. We're still working on that. We want to get as much food out as we can. It's there. It's provided to us. So it's something we want to provide. So, that's exciting that, and those are the programs you really like when they do some of the CARES Act and some of the relief funds, and you see them at the federal level passing, that whenever they do things that can pass on and really benefit students, it excites us.
Well, I am looking forward to what this semester brings, all good things, and anything else that we need to add, we'll be sure to share on our social media pages and our website, and give them that website.
Info at lawtonps.org.
To email us if they have any questions or concern, and then our regular lawtonps.org.
lawtonps.org, and again, a lot of we try to answer your questions, and Lynn's like, I wish he'd quit sending me those emails I get enough of them.
I love questions. I love it because then we get to help people.
But I'm sure you feel like you get enough of your own without getting some of mine.
It's okay.
But we do work together as a team to try to answer and solve problems.
Right.
So if you got an issue, and the ones that come to us that are really respectful and just saying, hey, can you help me with this? I'm telling you, people jump through hoops to fix them. So reach out to us. We'll do what we can to solve problems. Just remember, we have 13,000 students and 2,000 employees. So we can't get to everything in 10 minutes, but I promise you we put you on the list and we get after it. And if you've emailed us or something and haven't been responded to, shoot me another email and say, this is my second shot, because I'm just telling you, I do my best to get to those and answer them, or at least forward them to the person who's supposed to, whose department that would be to fix that problem.
All right, Mr. Hime, thank you for your time today. I'm excited to have us back.
I am too. Glad to do a podcast. We've been a month without one, so it's exciting.
It's been a while.
So, hey, thanks for tuning in, and we appreciate everybody.
Until next time, you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you then.
See ya.
Bye-bye.